Hey, everybody. I am on the line right now with Booker T and Sharmell Huffman. You know them from their WWE, WCW careers. Right now, they're trying to make a difference with Reality of Wrestling in Texas. They have an upcoming event on Saturday, October 10th. It's called Swing Vote, and they're going to tell us a little bit more about it and how people can learn more about being involved in the electoral process and have their voices heard in this upcoming election in November. Booker, Sharmell, how you doing today?
Not
Doing
bad.
great.
Not bad at all.
So, you guys have done a few of these drive-in events starting this summer. Obviously, with COVID being an issue, you found a safe and socially distant way to still give wrestling to your community. But can you just talk about how Swing Vote is different from the others that you've hosted so far, and just about getting involved with Be Woke Vote, the voting initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. As small business owners, COVID-19 has affected us just like it has the rest of the world. And we had to change our business model. So we started doing the drive-in shows. Our shows are always the second Saturday of every month. But because we're facing so many issues, this election is really, really important. We just wanted to get the community engaged, get them to go out and vote and have their voices heard. I did some research on a few organizations and came across Be Woke Vote. I really like what they stand for. They're nonpartisan and they encourage voter engagement and voter education. So we reached out, asked, if we could partner with them, and we ended up making this happen. It actually worked out great because Reality of Wrestling has a character, Abel Andrew Jackson, and his finishing move is the swing vote. He has a manager, Politics. So, wrestling is always, our show is always family fun and friendly. So we just thought we'd bring that entertainment element to a serious issue, which is voting. We're hoping to get all of our wrestling fans out and explain to them or just show them the importance of voting so that they'll keep that same energy that they have for the wrestling matches and take that energy to the polls.
As well as what's different about this show, Reality of Wrestling show, is free. as, as well as, we've been trying to motivate young people for the last 15 years. And I think normally in elections, older folks tend to go out and vote. But young people, they'd rather be at the club, be partying, or hanging out with their friends. But young people really need to know how important they are in an election, and especially in this election. This is probably the most important election in my 55 years as far as people wanting to make change. I think the only way to do it is get out and vote. And there again, if you don't get out and vote after November 3rd, if things aren't the way you want it, you shouldn't complain about anything. Just ride it out for 4 more years and then get ready to go vote again. Then
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I've been trying to think. I think 4 elections that I've been legally able to vote, but going back to even 2004, like people were stressing, you have to get out and vote, and it was really a young versus old thing. But now it takes on a new meaning because, as Be Woke Vote is trying to emphasize, people of color and different groups that haven't had their voice heard, and you're seeing with recent months, like Black Lives Matter and different social issues, now's more important than ever to really get out there and not wait the 4 years, I guess you can say, because we've already got a chance. I think people are taking sides. Like if you're on Trump's side, you gravitate towards him for some reason, but everyone else, they're kind of like sick of it. They're like, well, we don't want to see how the other 4 years are panning out. We need to do it now because, you specifically, Booker, have a platform where you're on TV every week, and you have your podcast, you have the Hall of Fame show with Brad Gilmore. So and not to get off on a tangent, but you've also expressed your interest in politics before, you were interested in running for mayor of Houston. So how have the last 4 years and the current administration shaped your views on just the importance of young people voting whether it's on a community level or just nationally, what we've seen in the past few months?
Yeah, I've been motivated for quite some time. You talk about 2004. I think only 68% of the American people voted in 2004. I think the highest, second highest percentage was to Obama being voted in. Um, so my thing is if we don't motivate, there again, I always try to talk to young people about motivating as far as making change. Um, yeah, I was around when Bush got elected in. I was around when Bush 2 got elected in. Clinton. I've been a part of all of those presidencies. I wouldn't say I voted in all of those presidencies. I just started being more aware probably over the last 10 years as far as what's going on in America. Social media has picked up now as well, which makes us more aware of what's going on, not just in our city, but around America. And I think that's what's galvanized, myself as well as, people to think about what's going on, right now. And it's our job, to go to the polls and vote if we want change, especially if we don't see people like us, being, representing. So I just encourage, people to think like myself, like my mother always used to tell me. She used to say, Junior, it's no gray area between right and wrong. And I think that's what this election is going to come down to. It's not a referendum on Trump's policies or anything like that. It's just going to come down to what's right and wrong, and how do we want our kids to see life more than anything, because we've lived it. We know what we are in life, but our kids, it's so important for my son and my daughter to understand what respect is really all about. And with that word respect, they always say you got to be able to give it in order to get it, no matter who you are. And I just want my kids and the kids around the United States, around the world, to know that.
Yeah, and I think you guys have they're 10-year-old twins right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I have 2 twin girls, but they're 6, and it's kind of like you want them to see what's going on, and not only we've always talked about like building something for the future and things in that respect, but do the work now so that there is a future. So I appreciate your perspective, because I agree with a lot of the things you're saying. And then I wanted to ask Sharmell, you've been retired from wrestling, but you're still active in the wrestling business. You guys built Reality of Wrestling together, and how do you make sure that your message is still heard in your community, or just on a different level that maybe Booker can't reach with his platforms?
Again, just staying true to myself and staying true to my message. Reality of Wrestling for both of us has been a labor of love. We want to see our students reach their highest potential. If that means they'll make it to the big time and become, world famous sports entertainers, that's awesome. I'd love to see them go through as many passports as I've been fortunate enough to go through. But if Booker and I can just be positive role models, and our students turn out to just be great citizens, great productive citizens, we've done our job there again. So it's mentoring the students and being positive role models in the community. And then going back to our kids, I've had to share some heartbreaking things recently with our 10-year-olds, starting with having them view the footage of George Floyd. That was heartbreaking for me as a mother to have to show my children. But just personally, that's what really motivated me to be more vocal about getting out to vote. If there's an issue that you are unsatisfied with, then you need to elect officials who are like-minded, who have the same issues, or who will represent you with whatever issues or problems that you have, that you are facing. So that's universal. That's for everybody. Go out and vote so your voice is heard. But I think our children That's what really motivated me to be more vocal.
This is your third drive-in event coming up. You guys have hosted one per month so far in August and September, but with this one, do you have any expectations on how it'll run or what kind of reception compared to the first few would have, since there is the voting or the political theme to it, and then maybe have any tips for new fans that might show up, what to bring or anything like that?
Well, I can tell you, this show it's going to be along the lines of every show that we've ever done, and that is give the fans the ultimate night of entertainment. Of course, we're going to, let everyone know where they can vote, how they can vote, but we're not going to be telling anyone who they should vote for or anything like that. One thing that we've done for the last 15 years, and we've been doing these shows on a regular basis, and we have people that from all different walks of life that come to our shows, and we haven't had any incidents in 15 years as far as people's views, as far as the way they think or anything like that. But there is a conversation that should be had, and there is the part where we got to be able to agree to disagree in life. That's just the way life is. We're not going to always agree on everything, but to respect each other. And like I always say, it doesn't cost you anything to be nice to people. That kind of stuff right there, that doesn't go out of the window. That stays intact. And I think bringing the show on Saturday night is just going to bring a lot of people together and give you a chance to think for just one moment. You think about it and you take it from there. But I know there again, our 10-year-old kids. I grew up in South Park, Texas. It was not the best place to live in, but I had, Mexican friends, I had white friends, and that's just something that we never thought about in life growing up. But now it's something that I think my kids are going to think about on a daily basis. And that's the part I think we have to get past. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice to people. If you want respect, you got to be able to give respect. And I think that's what this show is going to bring more than anything.
Absolutely. And we're just going to do that in a fun and friendly way.
All right. And I think there's a good point that I keep stressing throughout a lot of these conversations I have with people. You don't have to win an argument. You just have to have a conversation and respect each other. Absolutely. No matter what at the end of the day. So
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So I want to close on this note. You guys have worked individually in wrestling, and then you work together, most notably King Booker and Queen Sharmell. So I wanted to ask if you guys have a favorite match that you've worked in together. What would that match be?
Man, it's been a lot of good matches. We had a lot of fun. Probably be the boogeyman at WrestleMania because my wife got the worm.
That wasn't fun for me.
No, but the Rey Mysterio match when I won the World Heavyweight Championship, it was a great night for us. My mother-in-law, she was sitting there like 3 rows back. She even got a shot in the poster. It was a great night for us because we had so much fun. We captured the World Heavyweight Championship. We ruled the SmackDown Kingdom like no other king before us or after us. And there again, the King and Queen, King Booker and Queen Sharmell, I think will go down in history as the greatest duo that came from the King of the Ring that ever lived. It'll go down that way in history in the annals of time. And it was a great time in my career.
Same here. Yeah. Memorable moments, definitely WrestleMania with Boogeyman, a mouthful of worms. I never thought I would see myself with that. Kurt Angle, we had great. Yeah, that was a great one. Kurt Angle, but definitely the favorite was Rey Mysterio and Booker, with Booker winning the championship. It's been an amazing ride. All
right. Saturday, October 10th, we have Swing Vote. It's Reality Wrestling. The event takes place at the Booker T World Gym Arena in Texas City, Texas. You can check it out. Bell time of 8 p.m. local time, and it's limited to the first 500 cars in attendance. We'll put up more information about how you can attend the event, so show your support. Booker and Sharmell, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.